Today's show is sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one website platform to help you stand out in 2025. I've been collecting watches for around 8 to 10 years now, and if I had to start my watch collecting journey again, this is what I'd do. Let's get into it! Yes, and welcome to the Man Watch Collector Show. So today I'm going to try and use my knowledge to help you guys that are starting in your watch collecting journey. So get ready for a bit of fun, some watch knowledge nuggets that'll help you on your way, and let's have a fun time doing it. Are you watch collecting ready? Let's go. Now listen everyone, this is my first bit of advice and it's very important. Embrace everything. Be open to anything. Don't have any preconceived ideas that one type of watch is better than the other. Be open-minded to every type of watch and you just might find some absolute beauties you never thought you'd fall in love with.
Quartz? Digital? Manual wind only? Solar power?
But I think for anyone starting their watch journey, the first watch you need to buy is a mechanical automatic watch. Now it's very funny for me to say, but a lot of people don't realize you can own a watch that doesn't need a plug socket or batteries. Individual cogs, wheels, screws, springs are all working together to help move a set of hands go around a dial to give you pretty accurate time so that you're not late for your hair appointment or meeting. Yes, it's a big thank you to the free-flowing rotor that is attached to the back of the mechanical movement, which swings both ways. Steady. It winds up the mainspring to your mechanical watch. Meaning, as long as you're moving your arms around, you are charging your watch up. It's pretty awesome, isn't it? Not only do I think you need a mechanical automatic watch, but I think you need to see the engine. You will appreciate it far more if you can see the mechanics moving, the balance spring balancing, the jewels are gleaming. This is why the first watch you should buy is a Seiko 5. Whether it's an old Seiko 5 or a new Seiko 5. Most of them have display casebacks which show the movement running. Over the last few years, I've had dozens of Seiko 5s, some leaning towards the dressy side, others towards the sporty side, but the movements inside them are so goddamn reliable. All you need to do is keep the Seiko Samba going and your watch is good forever. Low servicing, and if you properly look around, Seiko 5s aren't too expensive. And for a first watch, for someone that's just getting into the hobby, this is your first point of call. Okay, so your first watch takes care of itself, you know. We're embracing the mechanical movement from the display caseback and we're keeping it charged. It can't run without me moving. But I want you to get into the mechanics a little bit more. Let's take away the rotor and let's get ourselves a watch that is manual wind only. And let's have a movement that is absolutely delicious to look at. This watch would be the second one I purchased, and it is a Seagull 1963. For all intents and purposes, this is a chronograph movement. So not only is it only hand wind, but we have a watch with a complication. But the big thing is, get one with a display case back again, because you are gonna wanna see this movement, people. Now for around 150 to 200 £200, you can get a watch movement that 70 years ago was Swiss. This is a great little story to it, but to keep it short and sweet, the Chinese bought this movement from a Swiss company called Venus. This ST19 engine is what they call a column wheel chronograph. And to get a movement with a column wheel chronograph in it that is Swiss these days, you are looking at least £1,500 to £2,000. There is nothing quite like pushing down a chronograph button that is mechanically driven. It has an awesome snap to it. Now what we've done already, people, is we've got ourselves a weekly watch. So a watch we wear during the week, the Seiko 5, and then a weekender. A watch we can take a little bit of care of, especially in the morning when we're winding him up. So far, so good. Before I talk about the next step, we have to talk about today's sponsor, who are Squarespace. They are the all-in-one website platform to help you stand out and succeed in 2025. If you have a business that needs to elevate itself from the crowd, Squarespace is the perfect partner to get you right on track. Filled with so many website templates and easy instructions on how to maximize the look, it's almost a surefire win. Not to mention the amazing AI blueprint feature where all you have to do is type in a couple of descriptive words and then Squarespace builds a whole website, which you can still customize and make it look like your own. The websites can be tailored perfectly to your needs, and the service Squarespace provides makes you wonder why you would go anywhere else. Hit the link in the description below where you will find 10% off your first purchase or website domain. If you really want to make it happen in 2025 and make that side hustle an actual business reality, let Squarespace make it happen. The third thing we have to embrace, ladies and gentlemen, is quartz. Yes, like kryptonite to Swiss watchmaking in the 70s. Quartz was an absolute revolution. It was found that a little quartz crystal, if sent an electrical charge through it, could vibrate at a regular and constant vibration to make a watch's hands move around a dial. I mean, it sounds crazy, but we just take it for granted. It's a type of watch and movement you have to embrace. Quartz was never meant to be cheap. In actual fact, the first quartz watches that came out were very expensive. But the fact that quartz needs far less components and parts and servicing and assembly means it is far more affordable. That's not to say that quartz can't be expensive. I've owned a Grand Seiko quartz watch, which is hand assembled. It has thermal compensators and regulators inside it to keep absolutely accurate time, losing only 10 seconds a year. Some companies like Grand Seiko grow their own quartz crystals, which is mad. But to own a quartz watch, you are embracing horology and an era in horology that was absolutely incredibly massive. When buying a quartz watch, I'd always get one from a brand that's been around a while, like a Timex, Casio. The quartz watch I've liked quite a lot recently is the Hamilton Field Quartz. Hamilton make very good watches. They're Swiss made. Yes, it's quite pricey at about £345, but if you like your military style watches, this is actually a good shout. Usually the more you pay for a quartz watch, the more chance you've got at the seconds hand ticking and hitting each marker on the dial. Oh yeah, and one more thing. To tell a quartz watch, usually from a mechanical watch, the seconds hand ticks like this in a quartz, whereas a mechanical sweeps. What about Boulevard? Yes, we all know there is high precision quartz watches where you do have a smooth sweep, but you don't need to know about that yet. Embrace quartz!
Could you just click that like button, please? It really helps the channel. Thank you.
The final type of watch I think you should purchase is a digital one. Like quartz, digital was an absolute phenomenon. Back in the early 70s, it's a huge thank you to the integrated circuit, because that brought electronics and circuitry down to very small chips, which allowed computers that were the size of cupboards at the time more compact. 1974 was a big year. That's when you saw the first Casio. For anyone that is a fan of the channel, knows I am a big fan of Casio. I was brought up with Casio. That integrated circuit is huge for so many electrical things, including the phone, the iPad, or the laptop you're looking at this through now. You have to appreciate it, people. Now, the best watch I can recommend to you is a Casio G-Shock. A watch that was born out of someone dropping a pocket watch and smashing it, then wanting to design the ultimate non-breaking watch. The GMW 5610U is not only a great example of a digital watch, but it is so practically awesome. It's no wonder why it's so popular in the watch world. For around £100, you get a solar powered digital watch that you won't need to change a battery for at least 10 years. It has atomic timing, which means it picks up a signal through the airwaves to correct the time if it needs it. Now, yes, I could have gone the route of showing you an F91W that costs £10, or my favorite digital watch, the CA53W. But I think for practicality, and the fact I think you're gonna keep this watch for a very long time, the 5610U is the ultimate digital watch to enhance your already awesome watch collection. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that collection of watches to start your journey is absolutely sensational and will set you on your way to greatness. Now, after you have a full watch collection like this, you're on your own, people. But having embraced these types of watches will help you become a more rounded watch enthusiast. You might fall down a quartz rabbit hole, or a manual wind rabbit hole, or a chronograph rabbit hole. There are so many watches made by so many watch brands, it can feel a bit daunting. But the only two other pieces of advice I can give you is one, slow down. Appreciate the watches you have in your collection. Yes, you may have been given a 10 watch box slot from your wife this Christmas and you've got 6 spaces. Appreciate the watches you already have. I don't think I did that enough when I was starting my watch journey.
I was buying like there was no tomorrow.
And that made me waste money because I pulled the trigger way too early on some. The last piece of advice is basically common sense, but you're buying for you, not for him. What? Not for them.
Come on.
It's your wrist it's going to be on. You're the one that's wearing it. Love it, appreciate it, be proud of it, and embrace this part of horology that is literally a tiny microbe of horology. Who knows, before you know it, you might get into cuckoo clocks. Thank you so much for watching till the end. If you want a bit more of the Mad Watch Collector, click there and join. But if I've got you for a few more minutes, why don't you take a look-see at this bad boy? This'll set you on your way beautifully. Ho, 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 ho. One of my masterpieces. If there was an Academy Award for watch review shows, this wouldn't be on it, but it's still cool. Go on, click it, you'll love it. Click it.